Hello there, it's Patrina again with Do You Have a Couple Minutes? And happy Monday to you. Today, I thought I would give you a little Monday motivation with a few quotes and then a perspective from an old story. I really like quotes and old stories because they provide us some different perspective that we can learn on. And it really seems like as we age or as time passes and we get greater experience, that these stories and quotes seem to take on deeper meaning, or there's a new meaning that or a new lesson that can be learned that we hadn't considered before. So with that, let me share a couple of quotes that I heard recently that I thought were thought provoking and worth sharing with you. This first quote sometimes gets misattributed to Teddy Roosevelt, but it is allegedly from Squire Bill Widener of Widener's Valley in Virginia. And that is, do what you can with what you've got where you are. I really like that quote because it just says, get started where you are with what you have. Don't try to kind of keep going out and getting more and thinking that you can't get started because you don't have something. Just do what you can with what you've got exactly where you are. I really like that quote. This next quote is from the Dalai Lama, and it is, remember that not getting what you want is sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck. And I really like taking that perspective about things. Sometimes we are naturally disappointed when we don't get something. But then it seems like over time, as we look back on that, kind of missing out, if you will, or not getting that something, that instance created other opportunity or created other pathways for us to move to something else that we have been the benefactor of, have enjoyed, or have been able to learn from. So I really like this perspective of, remember that not getting what you want is sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck. With that, I want to move into my story today. And I thought about the story of David and Goliath. So, the David and Goliath story is a biblical story where there's a giant, Goliath, and then there's a young boy at the time named David who has killed off, some lions and some big animals in trying to take care of his herds. And he believes that his God is with him when he comes up against this giant who others have feared. And I thought about, what does this story teach us, particularly with regard to, younger folks? And there are a few things. Number one, it teaches us that there may be another way to get the job done. So when David was put forth to fight against Goliath, everyone thought that he needed all the normal weapons of war to face this giant. And David did not. He had his way to move forward, which he was used to using a sling to kill animals. And so that's what he actually ended up using to kill this giant. Another lesson learned is that we can bring expertise that has been honed and developed over time in obscurity, and that expertise can have a great impact. So here David was all of this time watching these herds and killing off animals, and that was something that needed to be done in that era. However, his expertise that he had developed in terms of using his slingshot to be able to hurl stones to get predators away actually ended up helping him when he came up against this giant. And then I thought another lesson is that be confident and sure in the approach that you're going to take. So when David was getting ready to fight Goliath, he was given all of this armor, as we talked about earlier, and the normal weapons of war. But he said, "Hey, these don't work for me. This is what works for me: this slingshot and these stones, and that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I know will do the job." And again, he believed that his God was behind him and would help him in this particular circumstance. So he had a confidence in the approach that he was going to take. And I like those kind of that thought that we can be confident in taking an approach when we're using expertise and knowledge that have been honed over time. And with that, that is my lesson for today. I hope that you found that this has been a topic that's been inspiring, something to help you think, learn, grow, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life. I hope if you like these messages that you will follow me so you get pop-ups of when the new ones come around. And I hope also that you will like and share them with others so that they can come along our learning journey as well. In the show notes, I will leave a link to my new books. One is a fiction book, and the other one is a new leadership book I have coming out called Leading Self, Leading Others. And it is currently available on Amazon with a full release coming later that will include an Audible release. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this longer than usual Monday. And I hope that you have a fantastic week. I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you back next time. Until then, bye bye.